And our final guest today is Clara Mattei, economics professor and president of the Forum for Real Economic Emancipation. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I must point out, you're Italian.
Absolutely,
I am.
One
of my favorite kind of folks to talk with. What brings you to Oklahoma?
Well, what brings me is primarily my job at the University of Tulsa, and most importantly, the possibility of bringing the economy to people in the sense of discussing economic issues that should empower by understanding that the economy is us as human beings. It's not just an abstract entity that only experts should care about. And I think we really need to redemocratize how we think about economics, especially in a moment in which there's so much economic suffering and sense of powerlessness that pervades everyone's lives. And I think it is really the moment to say the FREE, Forum for Real Economic Emancipation, is here as a pilot program to see if we can really bring people to participate, to ask the hard questions about real economic topics. For example, why is it that they constantly cut social services? Why is it that the 1% has more than the bottom 90% of the population in the United States combined? Why is it that 1 out of 2 workers is poor, meaning that they can't afford the basic needs? They can't afford to buy what they need to survive, such as food, shelter, and many other basic necessities.
And the price of food is going up and salaries are going down.
Absolutely.
It makes no sense.
Well, yes, unfortunately.
At least to a civilian like me.
Yeah, and this is the intuition that guides the forum, is that what makes sense for the economy doesn't necessarily make sense for people. Or better, the logic of profit, which is the logic that guides our economic system, is often in opposition to the logic of need, which is actually what we most care about because we care about being humanly in relations with one another.
It's an interesting concept. I'm going to dance around here because we never have enough time. You've already got one book on the shelf, one book that you wrote. What's the name of the book?
The book is called The Capital Order: How Economists Invented Austerity and Paved the Way to Fascism. It's a big mouthful.
Oh, no kidding. And now you're working on a second book.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to have to read here from, if you'll just forgive me. But on the first book, my good Lord, you also worked for the Institute for Advanced Studies at Princeton. Your research contributes, and this is a quote, to the history of capitalism, exploring the critical relationship between economic ideas and technocratic policy making. You're so young to have such a grip on this sort of subject.
So I studied a lot because I wanted to show how our economic system is justified by certain ideas that come from those who are benefiting from the system.
How then, in a nutshell, do we tackle the problem?
I think knowledge is crucial, and this is what I've been experimenting here in Tulsa. I moved not very long ago, last December, and in very little time, we were able to put together this organization called the Forum for Real Economic Emancipation. You can see our website, freeforum.org, where people have come together to say the first step towards changing our economy is to understand what is happening in a deeper way. Because knowledge that circulates, once more, comes from this elite that rather than explain, tries to hide what really matters so that people feel like, they can't do anything about it. If there's a problem, it's probably their own problem. They're probably not good enough. We're trying to say, actually, a lot of this marginalization, impoverishment, is due to systemic problems that we need to fully understand. And that's why we just had an event to discuss how austerity policies, so the fact that we are constantly cutting social expenditures, repressing wages, privatizing public goods, this makes people more precarious. And this precariousness is bad for us, but for the system is actually quite good because it keeps us disciplined into having to accept whatever job, even one that does not pay our bills, we can find.
but the price of groceries continues to escalate while salaries appear to be stagnant.
Yes.
Is there an answer to that?
Well, there's many reasons why inflation happens. So the price of groceries is one manifestation of the fact that prices are going up in a generalized way. And the reason why prices are going up is many times because there's extravagant profit margins from those corporations that actually produce the goods that then we consume. The problem is the people who are just asking for higher wages with respect to what they really deserve. And this I'm not making up. This is actually the economic theory that tells you that inflation is due to what they call wage push. And this is what we need to go against. We need to say economics should not be there to justify these problems, to justify the fact that people are literally not making a living while wealth is being constantly accumulated at the top, because not everyone is getting poorer. The bottom is getting poorer, but the top is getting richer and richer. And we need to understand that we need different explanations that actually see where the problem is. And to get to these different explanations, we can't rely on armchair academics. We need to be with the people, hearing out what the problems are and connecting the dots.
So when are you going to run for office?
I don't have it as a plan. I hope what I care about right now is for the Forum for Real Economic Emancipation, which starts here in Tulsa, to connect with other institutions globally and also to show how this experiment can be reproduced, I hope.
Is it possible to turn around our current system to make it better?
Only if people participate, and I think this is the point. So what we need to do is to pressure from below, to organize in ways that are more in solidarity with one another, to find economic realities that actually work for us, not for profit. Our next event at the Free is going to be at the NYU campus, downtown Tulsa, and it's going to be about mass incarceration, to show again how incarceration can only be understood, and in the United States, we have the highest, by far, incarcerated population in the world, and we know that Oklahoma has amongst the highest women's incarceration numbers in the world.
I didn't know that.
It is like that, and there's almost 2 million people in prison in the United States as we speak.
I have to tell you, I wish we had more time. Will you come back?
I will come back, and I hope that the audience can join us for the forum. freefreeforum.org is our website, and we have many events, and I hope this can be the beginning of a better economy for people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so impressed. Well, that's all the time we have. We want to thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next time.